Okay, I don't know what's going on here, why it's going with this camera and not my other camera. So I don't know what's happening there. So this is not going to, well, I guess that's when we're going to go with tonight. So the picture's not going to be great, guys, so I apologize ahead of time. I don't know why I did that tonight. This has been so whacked lately, guys. I'm telling you what, I don't know what the heck is going on. Can you guys hear me okay, though? Can you guys hear me? Yeah, okay, good. All right, thank you. All right, I don't know. Well, I guess this is a video camera we're going with tonight because this other one did not hook in for some reason. I do not know why because when I set it up with this one. So anyway, all right. Well, I guess this is what we're gonna go with. So anyway, guys, this is weird because it's like laggy even to me, and I don't like it, but because I'm used to the other one. But what are you gonna do? So anyway, I just wanted before we get started, I just want to remind people that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. So no racism, no nastiness to each other or anything like that. I keep wanting to look at this one now. So, but yes, let me just unplug this one because it's obviously not working. So anyway, I don't know why that happened, but anyway, so that's weird. But so if you're not nice to each other in the chat, or if you're nasty at all, you're going to be knocked out by my moderators. They do a great job. So just please be decent to each other, and you know, and have respect for each other, and that's all I ask. All right, so we're going to talk about the banking system, and there's a banking system in trouble. With a lot of different stuff that's going on also around the world. Can that have an effect on us with everything that's been happening? So we're gonna, man, this is weird. This is just messing me up because I keep wanting to look over here because I'm so used to looking over there. All right. So anyway, so if you guys know, watched the videos earlier, yeah, I know it's just you seem tongue tied on this camera. No, it's just messing me up, and I keep wanting to look over to my right, but I'm not. And then when I'm looking at myself on this camera, it's weird. It's just the picture is not good. So anyway, so I guess that's what we're going with tonight. So anyway, so if you guys were watching the videos earlier today, we got the camper is out of here tonight. Yeah, we're gonna get snow here too. They're talking about a storm coming in. I know Rochester is supposed to get like 12 inches, between 6 and 12. I think we're supposed to get between like 4 and 8 inches here. So we'll see what happens. I look okay. Well, thank you very much. She said I look fine, so that's good. Okay, well, on my part, from what I'm seeing, it looks weird, so that's just kind of messing me up. So anyway, and actually I'll show you. I'll kick this down so you can see the shirt real quick. Of course, I got my Preppers We Are Legion shirt on, so I got that one on tonight. I figured I'd wear that. Why not, right? But so anyway, um, the banking system. Well, anyway, let's get okay. So we got the storm coming in. 6 to 12 inches is absolutely nothing, to be honest with you. It's first early storm, of course, but not so fun. I'd like a long sleeve PN1 shirt. Yeah, sure. I know. I gotta get some hoodies set up, and I gotta get some long sleeve shirts set up as well. And I will do that. It's just a matter of coordinating everything and getting all that done. But I will get those in time. Ed, now you did it. You said a four-letter word. Yeah, the snow. Exactly. Yeah, it's not looking forward to it. A little too early for me. Not but it's that time of year. The weather has gotten cold, and what are you going to do? I mean, it's just there's not much you can do. How much are the shirts? We're selling the shirts. I think they're like $15 a piece on my website at preppernurse1.com. If you go over there and check them out, we got like 3 or 4 different styles of shirts. I know we have the Legion, the Preppers We Are Legion shirt. We have STD, and then I think we got one more going on right now. So, but yeah, it's just you know, that's what we got. So if you go over to preppernurse1.com, we have the t-shirts, we have the coffee mugs. I am drinking my green tea tonight. I do have a fire going, but I just haven't. I've had tea a couple times in the mornings, but not really, not much other than that. So we've not even on topic like at all yet. Imagine that, right? So, anyway, so talking about the banking system and what's been going on, a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of scary stuff going on around the world. I know that we had talked before how the banks are borrowing from the Fed after hours quite a bit. I'm blurry because I'm on a different camera, Lynn. That's why the camera's. It didn't hook into my right camera tonight, so I'm on the laptop camera. So that's why it's messed up. Yeah, Mike is saying it's the last day for the legacy sale as well. So I'm going to have to mention that because he's pushing me to mention that. So anyway, yeah, today is the last day for the sale, guys. We have the 15% off of the 60 meal buckets. It is 20% off of the 120 meal buckets. And then it is 25% off the 183 mega sample pack. So that's going to midnight East Coast time or West Coast time, which would be 3 a.m. East Coast time. So you have to have money to be considered about money. I don't know what you mean by that, RV Source. I don't know what he means by that. Maybe that's rich people. I don't know. So I'm not blurry. It says we are drunk or not or on meds. That's funny. Yeah, just the camera's messing me up too because it's like for me it's blurry when I'm looking on here, so it's very very weird. So anyway, the banks, yes, but so the banks we got. There's a lot of insolvency going on. They're not having enough money, so they've been doing a lot of borrowing from the feds after hours, and it's been going on and on and on. There's the housing crisis is getting right back to that same type of situation that happened back in 2008. So there's definitely issues on that end as well. Scary stuff. I mean, it's very, very scary stuff. If the banks there was some runs on the banks in China and other places around the world. So there's a lot of people that are nervous and concerned. I mean, I don't personally keep a lot of money in the bank. I don't. Not that I have a lot of money. It would be nice. It would be nice, but I don't. But it's. I always tell my daughter, you know, Deutsche Bank goes down, the rest will follow here in the U.S. Yeah, you're right. You're right, JJ. You're absolutely right. There's let's say you look at a different place around the world. Look at the situation with Greece. They're continuing to have problems. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and then the devaluation of the dollar and stuff like that. That definitely makes a difference as well. So scary, scary stuff, to be honest with you. And it absolutely can happen here. I only pay my insurance to the bank. Everything else goes in cash. Yeah, I pay, like when I get my money, I deposit it in my account. I take out most of it, and I leave I pay my cell phone bill. Hey, Mike Bushman. Do you think we will start a war with China when China starts their crypto urine to undermine the dollar dominance? I think it would be a mistake to go to war with China. To be honest with you, I really do. I don't think that's going. I don't think that's going to happen. I hope it doesn't. To be honest with you, there's always games going on. There's always all kinds of little manipulations happening. So that absolutely is something that could happen. I would hope it wouldn't, to be honest with you, because China's not the one we want to play with. I'm going to tell you right now. They got way too many people. They can absorb a tremendous amount of losses. They could lose we have 327 million people in the United States. They could lose that number of people and still beat us. I mean, think about that, just the sheer number. I mean, what do they got, 1.2 or 1.3 billion people over there? I mean, it's Gray Ghost said it's buffering. Is anybody else seeing buffering? I hope everybody. Can you guys hear me okay? Oh, no buffering. Okay, all right. I don't know. Maybe it's just his laptop. Okay, all right. Well, that's good. Okay, so we're not buffering. I'm going to keep going then. So, but anyhow, it's like China's not the one. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't want to play with China. We're better off technologically than China is, but they've been stealing our information, guys, in our getting all that information. It happens. I'm going to tell you what, realistically, I don't care how good an American somebody is. If you put the right number in front of them, they're going to do what they need to do. And that's the reality of it. It happens all the time. So if you're working for some big tech company and you have the latest and the greatest information, if somebody comes along with the right suitcase full of money, people will give up that information. Like I said, it's just, you look what people do all the time. They do it constantly. Guys, if you haven't shot me a thumbs up yet, if you would do that, I see we're almost to 500 people in the chat, and we only got 118 thumbs up. So if you would do that, I would appreciate it. And plus, like I said, I have to do that now just because my trolls hate it so much when I say that. So I got to make sure that I say that. So if you would do that, I would appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, so 140 billion in quantitative easing the last few months, plus rate cuts last Tuesday. I was going to talk about that too, and thank you for that, Jason Wall. Think about this. If they're talking about how great the economy is doing, how everything's going good, but you've had 3 rate cuts this year. If everything was so great, why are they doing rate cuts? Okay, that would make me nervous. That alone would make me nervous. So there's a lot going on. And here's the other thing too. Stock market, record numbers, right? Going up, 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 and up, and up. That's great. But what goes up must come down. I think we're way overdue for a major correction because rate cuts drive the market. You're right, Jason. You're absolutely right. And it's like it's turning into 2008 on steroids. I'm going to tell you what, if the crash comes, or I should say when the crash comes, it's going to be scary stuff, guys. Like I said, and so I was going to tell you real quickly, it's called numbers fudging. They're good at it. Yeah, they are, JJ. One of the things, though, like I talked to my daughter, and she wanted to go to the bank like the last time that I saw her. So I took her to the bank, and I said, "Well, how much are you putting in the bank?" And she said, "This much." I said, "You got cash on hand?" And she says, "Oh, I always have cash on hand." She goes, "I always remember what you said. Always keep cash on hand because if the banks go down, at least you have money on you." And I said, "That's my girl, because that's the way it should be. You always need to have something back for that emergency situation because we never know. If the banks went, the best way they would do it, excuse me, on a Friday they close. You can't get any money out all weekend. And on Monday, they say, okay, now we're limited to, you're only allowed to take out XYZ amount. That's some scary stuff. And if you got all your eggs, if you will, in one basket in the banks, you could be in trouble in a hurry. You could be in trouble in a big time hurry. So, like I said, I definitely believe in having cash back. Definitely believe in, silver was up 39% tonight. Wow, I did not know that. That's awesome. I believe in having silver, guys. We've talked about it a many number of times. And, I don't recommend having gold, but I do recommend having silver. Silver is going to be something that's still going to be tradable, even if the dollar collapses and doesn't, and turns into junk. So silver is definitely the way to go. China has bought hundreds of thousands of acres of land there in the U.S. I don't know about that. I don't know if they would be allowed to be honest with you. I know one thing China has done, and they have done it a lot over the last 6 months. China's been buying a lot of gold. And the reason that you buy gold as a country is to hedge against inflation. And so they believe that something's going to come up, and they've been loading up on more gold. So that's something to pay attention to. There's a lot of little signs, guys, that are very troubling. You look at, let's look at the food prices. Look what the food prices have done. Oh, somebody just put, let's see, Moonlight said, food, gold, and silver. Fool or reign is king in the currency. Trust us. Yeah, absolutely. You can't eat silver, you can't eat gold, but you can eat food. So food is definitely, you want to make sure you're in a good situation with food. Otherwise, you could be, like I said, it's just, it can, and the worst part is, guys, realistically, and I've talked about this before, it can be overnight. One day, everything is fine, everything is great, and then the next thing you know, bam, just like flipping a switch, we wake up into total chaos. And it could be any number of things because of that. Any number of things. But like I said, the banking system is very fragile. The fiat dollar is backed by nothing. So remember that. So when it becomes devalued and it's not worth anything, what do you got? You could have all the cash in the world, and if it's not worth the paper it's printed on, that's dangerous. So I'm a big believer. Like I said, I like to have some silver on hand, but I also believe in commodities. If you have things that are tradable, and things that you can, in having food, I'm going to tell you what, there's no worse, well, there's other worse ways, but it's a really painful way to die is by starvation. And I really don't want to go through it ever. And I think a lot of people don't realize how important food is. Obviously, water is the most important. We know we've talked about that many times, but fresh water and having clean drinking water is going to be really important. Yeah, JJ just said if you can't stock up on silver or gold, stock up on barter items, which is great advice. There's going to be things, guys, that people are going to want. They're still going to want it even after SHTF happens. And if you have something that's a tradable commodity, that's going to make all the difference in the world. It really will. It could be, like I said, it could be life or death. So, I mean, if you got a lot of food, a lot of rice, a lot of beans or whatever, and somebody has something that you need, you can make some kind of deal with them, but I like bartering. I think bartering is fun. So, but it's got to be, but again, that's going to be another thing. What happened to management when the banks go belly up? Oh, to your mortgage when the banks go belly up. Well, if the banks go belly up and there's no money, I wouldn't even worry about the mortgage. They're not going to be throwing everybody out of their homes. They can't. So, I mean, if there's no bank to send that money to, and if there's no way to do that, I mean, they'll come up with something else. I mean, you look at the banks have been bailed out already how many times, and they continue to be bailed out. So, like I said, there's definitely issues with the banks. And like I said, my biggest thing, like I said, commodities, meaning hard goods that are tradable, that you can use, stuff that you use every day. I mean, simple stuff like deodorant. Okay, toothpaste, toothbrushes, combs. Not that I need a comb, but you know what I'm saying. Ammo is another one, right? Exactly. Paint Guy 78 just said stock up on ammo. The biggest thing, and I want you guys to remember this, and I've said this over and over again, but I'm going to say it again. When SHTF happens, when it happens, okay, and it could be any number of things, you're going to have what you have. That's it. There's no more going to the store at that point, because I'm telling you right now, the stores are going to be looted within hours. They will be looted within hours. You look what happens when riots go on. And the people will go in and they'll pick whatever store and they'll steal everything out of that store and there's nothing left. That's how it's going to be. Once people realize that we are in a worst case scenario, it's going to get really ugly really fast. So, again, I've talked about it before and I'll talk about it again. Safety in numbers. Safety in numbers is going to be a big thing. Flash mobs. Yeah. Well, that's what you'll get in the cities. You'll absolutely get that in the cities. You'll get that in suburbia, even in small towns. They're going to clean the stores out. I'm going to tell you what, and before they clean out the grocery store guys, they're going to clean out the pharmaceutical stores. Don't even think that they won't. Or a certain element, I should say, of people are going to go and hit the pharmaceutical stores first. They're going to hit your Rite Aids. They're going to hit your Walgreens and all those type of stuff. They're going to want those drugs, and that's what they're going to go for first. But in a true SHTF situation, there will be gangs going door to door in suburbia and in the cities. Kevin A. said, you know what? You're right. There will be. I think the cities are going to be a lot more dangerous than suburbia. In suburbia, you're going to still have people that are going to be armed that may work together. So you might have that a little bit. So they're going to slow that down. But as they get out farther, as they continue to work their way out farther, their numbers are going to be dwindled very quickly. Because the further out you get, the more armed people are and the more ready they're going to be. Oh, yeah, those, yep. Evelyn Vincent just said, oh, yeah, those opiates will be real valuable. Absolutely. If you have stuff like that, that's going to be hugely tradable. Painkillers, any kind that you have, they're going to be worth their weight in gold. They will absolutely, and I think I'm kidding. I'm not. They will absolutely be worth their weight in gold. So, but think about the mindset when SHTF happens. Exactly. You know what? We've talked about this before, and I'm going to mention it again. Guys, if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so. If banks go under, all stores will be looted within hours. L. Gibson. You're right. Everything would be looted very, very quickly. If the banks went down, people and thank you for that donation too. The biggest, scariest thing, and I've talked about this before, the most dangerous person out there is not going to be your gangbangers. It's not going to be your motorcycle clubs. It's not going to be, those type of people. It's going to be desperate and scared people. Those are the most dangerous because they're going to be willing to do whatever they have to do to get what they need. So, do you guys prep alcohol or maybe even make it? I do have alcohol preps as well. I believe it's going to be very important to have. You have vodka that can be used as an antiseptic. Also, it can be a barter item. So you can go and you can pick up a bottle of vodka. You go buy the cheap vodka, you're talking what, $7 a bottle. So it's not like it's really super expensive. I think it's a good prep to have. So I do have some. I don't have a tremendous amount of alcohol, but I do have some that I will be, having for prepping, for that reason. But I was going to say, guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Make sure you hit that bell icon so you get notifications. And so just putting that out there. The topic tonight, Jack, and been talking about the banks. And is there a possibility the banks could collapse? And if they did, what's going to happen if the banks just all of a sudden were insolvent and didn't have any money? And they would just lock their doors. And wouldn't matter what you had in that bank, you wouldn't be able to get it out. And that's kind of scary in that aspect alone. So we've been talking about, making sure that you have supplies, have money back, have silver. Silver is important. I think silver is hugely important. Hey, Mike, China is stockpiling gold to back up their crypto urine. This week, China stopped trading oil for greenbacks. Americans get ready for war. I just had talked about that, Mike, that China for like the last 6 months or so have been adding a lot of gold as their reserve because it's a head against inflation. And yeah, they want to be the number one currency. They want to be off the fiat dollar, and they want the yuan to be the number one currency. When am I going to start eating some of my preps? I'm overstuffed. I do eat some of my stuff, guys. I do. But a lot of my stuff that I have, if you look at what I have, it is absolutely for long term. A lot of long-term food storage, a lot of that's what I have, and that's absolutely for a reason why I have it that way. So that's why I do it, that way. What do you think will happen with the IRAs and the 401k accounts? Delbert, there'll be nothing. The banks go down. I want you guys to think about something. Let's go back again. Let's go back to like 2008, and remember what was going on at that point. You had record numbers of baby boomers all retiring, okay? All the time, every day, more and more were retiring. A lot of those baby boomers had their money in the stock market and stuff like that. And so when the stock market really took a major hit, they lost a tremendous amount of money. It's the same thing's going to happen to IRAs and 401ks. That'll be gone. If the market goes to crap, all that money you've been saving for all those years and getting ready for that good retirement and having enough money, it's all going to be gone. So, again, I'm a big believer in, I rotate, Kevin H. I do rotate, but I don't rotate my long-term stuff. My long-term food preps are strictly long-term. I have no intention of eating them anytime soon. Down the road, maybe, but not right now. But again, having supplies is a better way to invest your money, in my opinion. Again, if you want to hedge your bets, get silver. Have silver stocked up. Have enough of that put back. But having tradable commodities, investing in your properties, getting that bug out property, and start getting your infrastructure on it, and figuring out what works and what doesn't work. That's going to be hugely important when that time comes. You know, I lost so much in my 401k. I was upset with that bank. You can't be upset with a bank. When you're putting your money, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, and here's the thing, you're gambling. That's what you're doing. You are gambling. The stock market is a gamble. You're gambling that it's going to go up, and then if it goes down, you know, it's just, I'm going to tell you what, like I said, if I had a tremendous amount of money in the bank or something like that, I would not keep it all there. Now, I would keep some because you got to hedge, again, you hedge your bets, okay? But you definitely want to have cash on hand. And again, silver is a great way to do it, but commodities and supplies, having some place to go and having it stocked up appropriately. If I was a rich person, I'm going to tell you what, I would have an underground bunker. I always said this, and I'm just going to give you an example. Let's say I went out tomorrow and I won the winning lottery ticket and I won 150, 160 million. And so if let's say it's 150, so you're going to get you're going to get 40% of that. All right. So a little over $50 million. I'm literally going to take 2 million of that, and I'm going to put in an underground complex, underground, huge, completely stocked up and ready to go to be able to take care of 20 to 25, maybe 50 people. That's what I would do. And, people would say, now, an island's not a good idea, Mike. An island can be flooded. You can have disasters like that. High elevation, guys. Higher elevation you can get, the better. It saves you against any kind of tsunami or anything like that. High elevation is definitely going to be an important way to go. And that's just my opinion. I mean, like the Adirondacks, that's high elevation. Now, the weather up there is brutal, and I'm not going to lie, wintertime is absolutely brutal. So, Ed, you sound like the government. I sound like the government? Okay. The Ozarks. The Ozarks are a good place as well. Well, Pat, I'm just saying, it's better to be safe than sorry. That's my opinion. You can do whatever you want. And, when that time comes, maybe you might kick yourself in the butt and say, man, I wish I had done something different. But again, it's too late at that point. Where can we buy silver? You can get silver. Pawn stores will have silver. You can get them at flea markets. Flea markets, there's always somebody has silver. You look in the phone book or look it up on your phone. Where can I buy silver? And there's going to be people that have silver, But pawn shops are a great place to get it. I always check my change. Yeah, coin dealers, exactly. There's another one, yep. But, there's always places that you're going to be able to get silver if you really want silver. Silver dollars, junk silver, or whatever you're trying to get. So, that's the way I think it's good to have, but like I said, they can't be the only thing you're stocking up on. You got to definitely have other things available, because I'm telling you right now, banks close. Let's put it like this, so I'm just going to put it out there to you guys, okay? And I know a lot of you were preppers and a lot of you prep, but if you tomorrow, Monday morning, and the banks were shut down and you were not getting any of your money out, are you ready for that type of situation? And if you're not, what are you doing to get ready for that type of situation? So that's kind of where I'm at with that. If you win the Powerball or Mega Millions, several states will give you an IOU. No, I think they have to pay you so much per year. Either you can get the lump sum, or you get paid so much a year. Believe me, they're pulling in a ton of money for that. Judy Bell said, I am ready. Good. I'm glad to hear that, Judy. That's awesome. I wish more people were ready. I really do. There is not enough of us out there that are ready. There really isn't. Guys, if you haven't shot me that thumbs up yet, if you would do that, I see we're up to what are we at, 682? Wow, okay. And we got 260 thumbs up. So if you haven't shot me that thumbs up yet, if you would do that, I would appreciate that. Nope, never ready. That's why I keep prepping. L. Gibson said, and I'm going to tell you what, L. Gibson, I am right with you. I will never be ready the way I want to be ready. I would have, like I said, literally, I would have an underground complex, underground, and it would be extensive, and and I would have a lot of money put aside, a lot. But again, we just don't know. You know what I mean? We just don't know. So we just continue to do the best we can. When the time comes, we deal with the situation as we have to, and that's the best way any of us can do it, to be honest with you. So buffering to block the truth, Mike Knife just said. People don't, what, here's the thing is what I'm telling you guys, I mean, and I want you to be realistic. What I'm telling you, it's a scary situation, but it's a very, very realistic situation. Well, the banks are closed for tomorrow for veterans. Okay, well, thank you, Donna Smith. You are right. They are closed tomorrow. But oh my God. You know what I mean, though. I'm saying if on a regular day, if it's a regular day and you come off of a weekend and you try to go to your bank on Monday and they were all closed, that's the example we're trying to give here. It is scary to think about. It is, one of those situations that we don't ever want to be in, but it can happen. It's already happened here before, guys. You look at what happened when the stock market crashed. I mean, if we go back to 27, when the stock market crashed, things were going gangbusters. Everything was going great. Everybody had money and they were partying and everybody was doing fantastic. And then the next thing you know, everything crashed. And you had a 1929. Yep, I'm sorry. Right, Robert Blakemore said I said 27, but yeah, 1929. But again, and that ushered in the 30s when there was a lot of desperation. A lot of men walked away from their families because they couldn't afford to take care of them. There was no work. Scary, scary stuff. Well, you want to go talk about panic at the pumps? Let's go back to the 70s. And when the OPEC situation and all that happened, then I mean the lines at the gas pumps were insane, and then it ended up being, depending on your license plate number, you were even or odd. You could only get gas every other day. I mean, it was bad, and you were limited on how much you could get. Again, those things have happened before. They will happen again. So preparation, being ready. It's scary to think about. It's the boogeyman in the corner, and we don't want to think about it. Hope it never happens. And I'm going to tell you right now, I hope it never happens, ever. But you know what? The reality is that it will happen. Again, just be as ready as you can be, guys. And that's the smartest thing you could possibly do is, again, this is important. I want you to remember, I'm trying to teach you, and anybody that's new on the channel that hasn't been here before and watching for the first time, I want to teach you to help yourself. That's important. This is what this is about. This is not me on here trying to scare anybody and do fear mongering or anything like that, because I don't do fear mongering. I come out here, talk the truth, tell you how things could be, what could happen, tell you a better way of living your lives. I live off grid. This is what I do. I love it. And, it's a lot more work. It sure is. But I'm going to tell you what, SHTF happens tomorrow. I got 18 chickens. I'm going to get eggs. And if I had to butcher some of the chickens to have meat for that, then I would do what I had to do. And I would probably take it down chickens wise to a certain level so that I didn't have to use as much food. But again, I'm in that situation because I have prepared and I'm getting ready. I'm going to tell you what, everything I do is about making my life better and being prepared as best that I possibly can be. So we prep, we work on infrastructure on the property, and when things go belly up, like I said, I'm going to try to help as many people as I possibly can. And there actually, Voodoo Queen Herbalism just said, history will repeat itself, and it does over and over and over again. It has happened throughout history. It will happen again. Great countries. You look at the great empires that have been there. Look at the British Empire. Okay, the British Empire was huge all over the place, and they are a shadow of that former what they had. You look at the Roman Empire. You look at Genghis Khan with the Mongols. Any of those great dynasties or whatever, they never, over time, they're going to crumble, and the Roman Empire was the greatest empire of the world ever that we ever saw. You know what I mean? Alexander the Great, at the time, he conquered most of the known world at that point in time, and it happens, guys. It's going to happen here. The United States is not going to be top dog forever. That's just the reality. We've had a great run. But the thing is, the reality is, and I've talked about this, we're the modern day Rome. And what happened to Rome? She crumbled from within. Too many wars, too much infighting, and that's exactly what's happening right now. You know, yeah, the Chinese are attempting to create an empire, and you know what? And I think they're going to be successful. I said it, and I used to say 20 years ago, but now it's like 30 years ago. I've said for the last 30 years, the one we got to watch out for is not Russia, it's China, and I've said it 30 years ago. So and it's absolutely going to happen here. Just like anywhere else, great nations are going to fall, and that's what happens. And unfortunately, I think that our time is short. And you got to, it's the funny thing that I think a lot of people don't realize because they're so used to everything just being the way it is. Okay, um, I see no reason that America will fail. Kyle just said that. Well, you know what? You look at what we're doing to each other, Kyle. I mean, you look at the infighting that we have right now in this country because the government's perpetuating it, number one. But there is a lot of reasons this country could fail. We have people hating each other because of politics, not even color of skin or a different religion, but that's also included, okay? But you look at the ridiculousness of the political climate that we have now. Left and right, extreme left, extreme right. There's a lot of hatred, and it's craziness. It's absolutely craziness. And so you don't tell me that that's not a really good reason why things may go belly up. There's just one. That's just one example, So something to think. There's a lot to think about, guys. Very, very a lot of stuff. I look at stuff. I'm watching stuff all the time, and I just try to pay attention. And again, I continue to prep. I will continue to prep. I'm never going to stop prepping, and it's not about fear. It has absolutely nothing to do with fear because I'm not afraid. When that time comes, I will act. I will do what I have to do. I will do what is necessary. My family and my group and my friends, they're number one. They come first, especially my family and the people in my group. I have people that have made some great contributions to help us get to where we're at. You know what I mean? A great example, and I'm going to say it right now, Brian, one of my guys in my group. You guys seen him on video a couple of times. He's he's an electrician. And you know what? He's a very, very valuable member of this group. That's his camper that I have over on the side. So, but you were being caused over SHTF by doing something about. Yeah, well, you have to do something about it, Mike. You have to be ready. You have to be ready. Because here's the thing is, and again, and I've talked about this before, you prepare for the worst and you hope for the best. I don't have a lot of faith in mankind. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. So I really, that part of it scares me. So, I think that the human beings in this world and in this country, they can't wait to kill each other off. And I just, I want to sit back and let them do it and try to help some good people to survive what's coming. And, I'm going to tell you right now, the people that live up in this area where I'm at, I think a lot of these people up here will work together because it's going to be in their own best interest to work together. So, Wolf Fang said humans are an odd breed. They absolutely are. There are some people up in this area too. I'm going to tell you right now, we got some druggies up here. Okay. I don't want those type of people. And when I say druggies, guys, I'm not talking about potheads. Potheads are not. That doesn't even. I don't even consider that drugs. So just let's get that really clear. I'm talking about your meth heads and your tweakers and your heroin addicts and your coke heads. Those are the people that you're really going to need to worry about too, because once they don't have the drugs, they're going to be bad. Again, desperate and scared people. That's the scariest thing right there. Very, very scary stuff to think about. Guys, if you haven't shot me a thumbs up yet, what are we at, 343? I would appreciate that. I see we're almost at 700 people in the chat, so that's a good crowd in here tonight. But if you would shoot me a thumbs up, I definitely would appreciate it. Trying to get ready a little each day and hope I have what I need when I do it. Yeah, you know what? That's all any of us can do. All any of us can do is the best that we possibly can. Again, think about it, and this is a great way to put it in that bubble so you understand better, okay? You're brand new to prepping. You've been prepping for like a month. you only got a couple of weeks worth of food and water. Okay, and that's all you got. Maybe some clothes, a few other supplies, but you got 2 weeks worth of food and water stocked up. Okay, that is going to give you an advantage over 95% of the people in this country. 95%. If you have a 2 week supply of food and water and nothing else, you have an advantage over 95% of the people. So think about that when you get despondent, when you're thinking, oh my God, I'm never going to have enough stuff together. I'm never going to be ready enough. If you have just that little bit, 95% of the people are not prepared for a 2 week disaster for food and water. And they're going to be standing in the line, waiting for the government to come in and save the day. And look what happened to Hurricane Katrina. I mean, that's the biggest example that I can give anybody. China is not our problem. They may initiate SHTF, but it will expose us to. Hold on, let me go back to that. I missed that rest of that comment. I wanted to read that. They may initiate SHTF. Exposure will do the most of the damage. You know what, Moonlight, you're right. Like I said, and so, okay, so let's not even talk about the banks going down for a second. Power grid goes down. Think about that chaos. I mean, think about a pandemic that we didn't know what was happening, and all of a sudden, the next thing you know, we got people dropping like flies because there's a 90% attrition rate with some kind of super bug that comes out. Those type of things, that is pure panic. And I don't care if you prep or not. How could you fight that? If there's some kind of bug going around and all these people have it, the best way to do is isolate yourselves, not let people in or around you, or if they do come up, you put them in a quarantined area. That's the only way that you're going to be able to deal with those type of situations. Scary stuff, guys. I mean, there's a lot of scary situation. Tubular Guy 9 said, I have 2 weeks worth in just my pantry. That's great. And you know what? More people need to do that. Absolutely, more people need to be ready. Yeah, hospitals will lock down. They wouldn't be taking new people. People would be dying left, right, and center if there's some kind of a major pandemic. And it's happened in the past, guys, and it can happen again. You look at the number of people in the world travel that we have today. The stand, Stephen King, exactly. It can happen again. It can absolutely happen again. And with the way that the travel is around the world, it would very, very quickly spread worldwide. There's no way that they would ever be able to stop something like that, because you would have people looking to get out, and they would sneak out and they would do whatever they had to do. So, but again, so there's a lot of things that can happen, a lot of scenarios. So, like I said, the best thing that any of us can do is just continue to get better or continue to get ready, and when the time comes, act and not react. That's important too. Don't panic. You don't want to be that person. You do not want to be that person that's scared and panicking. Now, it's going to be scary. Oh yeah, when the time comes, we're all going to be scared, because the first thing I'm going to tell you right now, the first thing on my mind is going to be, where's the kids? Are they here? Are they not here? Where are they at? And can they get here? There's the other thing. Can they get here? And so, but we just do the best we can. That's all we can do. Any of us can do. So, antibiotics are super important in case of the super breakout during SHTF. Yeah, exactly. Well, antibiotics are going to be a key to help with any kind of major thing going on in an SHTF situation. Somebody gets a cut and it gets infected, and you don't have antibiotics. It can get real bad really quick. Get isotope for radiation. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of different things that you can do. Would you take in your ex-wife in an SHTF situation? Linda Smith just said that. Okay, so here's the situation with that. My son is now living with his mother. Okay, so if SHTF happened tomorrow and she got my son back here and got my daughter back here, let's say she swung by the college, grabbed Heather, and brought both of my kids back here, I am absolutely 100% yes taking her in. She's going to have to earn her keep like anybody else that would come here. But in that type of a situation, absolutely yes, I would take her in. Not only because of what she had done, but because she is the mother of my children. And I couldn't say, well, thanks for bringing my kids back. Good luck to you. I'm not like that. You know what I mean? I have no animosity towards my ex-wife. There's issues there, and there always has been. But, that's on her. It's not on me. And I'm going to be the bigger man at that point. Let's see. 1/3 of the world's population will die if history repeats itself. Yeah, and think about that number, what that would be. We got, almost 6 billion people on the planet, something like that. If 2 billion people died rather quickly, first of all, think about the devastation, because a lot of us would lose people that we cared about. Kyle says, people like me give me faith in humanity. Well, what the thing is, it's just about doing the right thing. That's what it comes down to. And we're going to have a choice. All of us out here, you guys that are watching, all of you that are preppers, all of you that are off-gridders, all of you that have been preparing possibly for years and years and years, okay? We all have a choice. We can be very, very selfish when the time comes, or we cannot be. And my own personal thing, I feel really important that it's going to take a village to survive what's coming. So for me to say, okay, let's say I have 10 people in my group. Let's say I got 10, and there's 10 of us in the group. Well, all of a sudden now this virus comes through and knocks out 5 of us. Let's say it has a 50% attrition rate. Now we go from 10, now we got 5. Now Joe and Charlie got sick. Now we only got 3 able-bodied people to do everything that has to be done. So you see what I'm saying? So you need to have a community of people to absorb losses, to share the load, to, work together. The days of sitting back in the rocking chair, or not the rock, sitting back on a couch and doing nothing when SHTF happens are going to be over. If you are heavy, if you are thin, if you are old, if you are young, middle-aged, there's jobs for everybody. Everybody will contribute. And I'm going to tell you right now, my philosophy is going to be, if you don't contribute, you don't eat. Okay, so we got Grandpa who's 75 years old, 80 years old. What can Grandpa do? Well, Grandpa can man the CB radio. Grandpa can sit there and tend the fire. Grandpa can do a lot of different things. He can teach knowledge. The knowledge that Grandpa has in his brain is going to be very, very valuable. So there's something for everybody to do. Little kids, you send them, as a group with supervision out collecting kindling wood. You're going to need kindling wood, So, somebody said, and Grandpa also has knowledge. Sean Wheeler just said, yeah, and I just said that, Sean. So that's funny. But, everybody has a place. There's something to do for everybody. Your younger, more physically able people are going to have more physical jobs to do. That's going to be the reality of it in that type of situation. So, that's why I think that, when people say, well, it's just me and my family and that's it, we're not going to have anybody else, we're not going to help anybody and stuff like that. I think that's the wrong attitude to have. I really, truly do. Because, again, it's going to take a village to survive what's coming. It's going to take a lot of us working together. People that you've never met before. And I've talked to people about that. I said, you're going to have people in your group that you never even believed would be in your group. Knowledge base. Bringing skills to the table. Somebody can help with this, that, or the other thing. I don't know everything. I don't, guys. I know a lot of stuff. Yeah, I do. But I'm not, I don't know everything. I can't do everything. And I'm still going to need to get my sleep and try to keep fresh and keep my brain working. And, and we can't, we have to do it like that. It's just, that's the way it's going to be. And so, yeah, is it going to be tough to train or to trust strangers? Of course it is. But if they earn that trust, that's what it's about. How many millions of city folks will flee to the countryside? I'm pretty sure quite a few will. JJ, you know what? I don't think that they will. And I'm going to tell you why. They may start, okay? But I'm going to tell you right now, most of the city people will stay within a 10-mile radius of that city. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because it's what's familiar to them. It's what they know. They get out into the country, and it's dark, and they don't know nobody, and it's scary, and there's wild animals, and the weather's bad. And think about all the people that are out there in the country that are not going to be welcoming all those kind of people in with open arms. Okay, so again, you have to remember so they'll go back to what's familiar and what they're comfortable with. So I think you're going to see a lot of people that are not going to, they're not going to go far from the cities. They really won't. Some will. I'm not, absolutely some will. But okay, so think about this. Okay, so you're in the city. You're not a prepper. You haven't prepped. You never thought about it. Okay, because realistically, in the cities, how many preppers are in the cities? Probably not a tremendous amount per capita. Okay, so you're bugging out. Where are you going? Where are you going to bug out to? Do you have any skills? Do you have any supplies to get you where you want to be? Time of year is going to be a huge factor in it, guys. If it's the middle of winter, they're not bugging out of the cities in the middle of winter, because where are they going to go? Again, okay, so a lot of these things are going to go into play. And I'm going to tell you right now, from a very, very selfish and personal standpoint, I hope that SHTF hits right like New Year's Day, 1st of January, okay? And the reason why is because by the time the spring comes, a lot of the attrition will just have taken care of itself. We'll be able to hunker down. We're going to still have to keep on our toes and keep watch and all that type of stuff, but we'll ride it out. And by the time the spring comes, a lot of people will be gone. A lot of people will be gone. So, but like I said, we have that opportunity where we can help, we can share knowledge, we can do things to make other people's lives better. And again, if you come to me after an SHTF situation and you're looking for help, I'm going to try to help if I can. Okay. I'm not guaranteeing that I'm going to help everybody, because I'm not going to help everybody, but I'm going to try to do the best that I can. But if you're willing to work and you're willing to put in an effort to make your place here with us, then great. But if you're not willing to, you're definitely not going to be here. So, that's the reality of it. You've opened my eyes to prepping. Thank you. Well, you're very welcome. And that's what I want to do. I want you guys to help yourselves. The more of us that we can wake up, the more people we can wake up, is that one less person trying to take your stuff when that time comes. And maybe that's a person that you've connected with and you've made your network of people, and you've made yourself stronger for when the time comes. Because I'm telling you right now, you're going to see prepper groups and communities, and maybe they're spread out a little bit. You may see them have to come together to survive. That's absolutely a possibility. You know what I mean? So, and again, just the working together part is huge. So we're at 737 people watching. We're 408 thumbs up, guys. Let's see. We got to get 500. With that many people today, we got to be 550 has been our most recent high. That's been our most recent high, is 550. And then we didn't have 700 people in the chat that day. So let's see if we can beat 550 today, guys. Please, just for fun. It's more for fun than anything else. It's just, it's like a game. So we're at 422. So yeah, if you guys could hit us up, that would be great. Zach said, I wish I could quit smoking to spend my money wisely. You know what? It's all right here, Zach. If you want to quit, you can quit. It's absolutely an individual choice. I've heard so many people say, I can't, I tried this, that, the other thing. Everything is an excuse. If you really, truly want to quit, it's like with, alcoholics or drug addicts. People quit all the time, and they don't ever do it again. It comes down to willpower and how bad you want it. So that's going to be a very, very individual choice on that. And I'm not judging anybody. But I know that when I quit certain things in my life, when I quit smoking, I started at 12, and by 16, I was at 2 packs a day. And I just decided this is not good for me and I don't like it, so I quit. And that's how I did it. So Kate says, I enjoy smoking. Well, again, and that's an individual choice. You can do it or not do it. But you got to realize, too, if you are, the beard's looking good. Well, thank you, Donna. Yeah, it's starting to get the length on it now. It's filled in pretty decent, so now it's going to just start growing. But yeah, it's just, again, with anything, it's in, if you want to smoke, you better prep for it, because, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not prepping cigarettes. So, so don't come here going, hey, you got a cigarette? Because I'm not going to have one. So. Well, anyway, we got to do this at this point of the show because we got to do it every show. Again, we are Legions preppers. Here, I'm going to stand up so you guys can see it. We are Legion because there's many of us. We're all out here. Uh, preppers, off-gridders, we're this huge, huge family, okay? So where's everybody from tonight? We got Pennsylvania, Catawba, North Carolina, Virginia, Sodus, Michigan, New Jersey, Raleigh, North Carolina, Arizona, Idaho, New Zealand. Let's see. This is going real fast. Ireland, Colorado, Richmond, Virginia, Missouri, Texas. Let's see. Connecticut, Georgia, Southwest Missouri, Coastal North Carolina, Long Island, New York, New Jersey, Southwest Ontario, Iowa, Florida, Georgia, Western New York, Alaska. We got Kentucky, South Australia, Alabama. We got Southern Mississippi, the United Kingdom, very nice. Rhode Island, nice. Illinois, Australia, New Orleans, Georgia, California, Iowa, the UK, Houston, Texas, Central Indiana, Oshawa, Ontario, Canada, North-South Canada, Brooklyn, Hawaii, Washington State, South Dakota, Norway, very nice. Let's see, Texas, Maryland, South Carolina, Ohio, Central Michigan, Ontario, Canada, West Virginia. So it just shows, guys, not even just all through the United States, but we're all over the world. And there are so many of us. There's Utah, Tennessee, Charlotte, South Carolina. We got Rochester, very nice. Wisconsin. Yeah, we're all over the place. And I'm going to tell you what, when the time comes, I really, really think we can make a huge difference. It's changing your mindset, putting yourself in a situation of somebody else. Would you want, if you were in that desperate situation, let's say you had all the preps in the world, okay, and you're on your way to your bug out location, and you fall and you twist your ankle, and you twist it bad, and you've really hurt yourself, and these two strangers come along, and you say, listen, man, I'm in desperate straits here. I can't walk. Could you help me? You think they'll just ask, the heck with you, I'm just walking away. And then they help you, and they get you to where you got to go. You're going to tell me that you're not going to help them back by helping them out with preps? I mean, it's just the right thing to do. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. And you know what? If that makes me a target, and if that puts me in danger, that's a chance I'm going to take. Because like I said, I think it's going to take a lot of people to make what's going to need to happen. If all of us can get together, we can form our own country. Yeah, Delbert, you're right. Exactly, Delbert Jones. Could you imagine? And think about the skill set of that country we would have with all of us preppers from all over the place. It would be awesome. And the best part would be, I'm going to tell you right now, we would be working together. Because I'm going to tell you, when we did our prepper get-together this year, and I had people come from all over the country to that prepper get-together, the camaraderie and the brother and sisterhood that we had that day, and anybody that was there, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I know Kat was there, okay, and she's in the chat tonight. It was awesome, and there was nothing like it because it was all like-minded people with the same purpose, with the same way of thinking, and it was just fantastic. And I think that is so, so important. I really do. And I think that we really, if we can work together and like that, I think it makes all the difference in the world. All right, we're at 478 on the thumbs up, guys. We gotta hit at least 500. We're almost at the end of this already. Man, this hours always go by so fast. So if we can if we can get it over 550, I would be really super happy, but I don't know if we're gonna do that. But if you haven't shot us a thumbs up yet, if you would do that, I absolutely would appreciate it. I do want to thank my moderators. You guys are awesome for keeping the chat clean. I really, truly appreciate all of you for what you do. It does make a big difference. Pennswood Living Picnic was a blast. Yes, it was. It was fantastic. We had somebody there playing guitar, and they did a fantastic job. He actually made a song for my channel. He's put it up on the channel a couple different times, which is really, really cool as well. And, it was just a lot of good people getting together, We had a nice meal, just talking, and it was fantastic. All right, so now we hit 500. We got it. We'll see if we can let's get 550, guys. Kat said, Ed, thank you for teaching me. You're very welcome. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's helping. We should be all looking to help each other. And I think that is just like, and here's the best part, guys. When you help other people, it just, not only does it make you feel good, but it's good. It's a good thing to do. You're making somebody else feel good. And it's just a great thing. It's a great thing to do together. And I think it's important. I really do. I mean, we have, unfortunately, and I'm not saying everybody, but there's a lot of selfishness in this, especially in the United States now, a tremendous, tremendous amount of selfishness. So, it's we need to work together. I think it's important to do that. I really do. So what are we at? 508 for thumbs up. We're going to give it like 2 more minutes. Let's see how many more thumbs up we can get for. We'll go for 2 more minutes. Well, it's actually 8:59, so we actually still got technically a minute. So we're going to go to 2 minutes after 9, just to see if we can get this up to 550. So if you haven't done it yet, guys, shoot me that thumbs up. So I will mention this really quickly. So obviously tomorrow, if you want to get into Ed's, then know how to cook, you might have a chance. Exactly. I like to eat. L. Gibson, thank you very much for that donation. Yeah, if you know how to cook, if you're a really good cook, especially, that's going to give you a thumbs up for sure. So, but I want to mention really quickly, obviously tomorrow is Veterans Day, okay? And I want you guys to think about not just all the veterans that have served, guys, their families also sacrifice when their loved ones are away. And so I think that's important to remember them as well, because while dad or mom are off fighting someplace, the children and grandpa and the husband or wife are home. That's very, very difficult. And that's a huge, huge sacrifice that a lot of people make. So I think it's hugely important that, we make sure that we honor all those who served, and there's a lot of people out there that have given that ultimate sacrifice for all of us. And so, I might not always agree with why we're someplace or where we are, but I'm going to tell you right now, I will always, always, always support my brothers and sisters in arms. That will never change. I will always support the troops because they have no choice. They go where they're told to go. So, that happens, unfortunately. But so we're at 9 o'clock right now. We're going to go 2 minutes. We need 39 more thumbs up, guys. So we're going to go to 2 minutes after. We're going to stop at 2 minutes after no matter what. Ed, can you tell us how you find a group? All right, Bonnie, a great way to find a group if you're really looking to do that is go to my website, prepperNurse1.com. We have the Prepper Nurse 1 community there. We did that actually by your guys asking for some place to go to find like-minded people. You have to register. It is free. It doesn't cost anything to register. It's absolutely free. It's for you guys. If you are trying to find somebody in your state or in your country, it's a great way to do that, to find like-minded people. What you do once you get in there, if you want to look at the message boards and just do that, or maybe email somebody that's in the same state as you are. If you want to connect with that person, that is completely up to you. You do that at your own risk, of course. If you want to try to form a group out of your state, it's a great resource. It's a resource that's available for you guys to be able to meet and hook up with like-minded people. And that's why we did that. All right, guys. Well, it's 9:02. We're at 5:33. God, 17 more, guys. Anybody that hasn't shot that thumbs up yet, please do so. Remember, guys, we are all in this together. That is important to remember. Also, remember, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel, okay? Also, remember, guys, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only person that can stop you from making any of your goals happen in life is you. Nobody else can stop you. And we're 5:54, guys. Awesome. Thank you. That's fun. It's just fun. It gives us something to shoot for, a goal to shoot for. I think the most I ever got in a live stream before, it went up on the website was like, I think we had like 650 was like my all-time high. But we had a great crowd tonight. Thank you everybody for being here and joining in. And thank you for the comments. I appreciate it, guys. Really, truly do. I will talk to you all later. I hope everybody's having a great day. I will see you tomorrow. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.